Welcome to English Class Collective, where we learn English together through interesting stories and conversations.
Hello, listeners. I'm Lucas, and I'm here with Alex. Today we have a really exciting topic that everyone can relate to: the science of happiness.
That's right. We're going to learn about what makes people happy and the science behind these good feelings. And we have a special guest today.
Yes, our friend Diana will share some interesting stories about different people and their experiences with happiness. I think you'll really enjoy it.
And don't forget to stay with us until the end of the podcast. We'll review some useful vocabulary words that you can use to talk about happiness in English.
The words won't be too difficult, and we'll explain everything clearly. So, are you ready to learn about happiness?
Let's welcome our guest, Diana, who will tell us some fascinating stories about the science of happiness.
Today, I want to tell you about Maria, a woman who works in a busy office in the city. Like many people, Maria used to feel tired and unhappy most days. She would wake up early, rush to work, and spend long hours at her computer. One day, Maria read an article about simple ways to feel happier. She learned that happiness isn't just about big things like getting a promotion or buying a new car. Sometimes it's the small, everyday things that can make us feel good. Maria decided to try some simple changes in her daily life. First, she started taking short walks during her lunch break. She noticed that being outside in the fresh air made her feel more energetic. She also began writing down 3 good things that happened each day in a small notebook. Another change Maria made was spending more time talking to her coworkers. Instead of eating lunch alone at her desk, she joined others in the break room. She found that connecting with people, even for just a few minutes, made her workday more enjoyable. After a few weeks, Maria noticed something interesting. She wasn't doing anything big or expensive, but she felt happier. Her small daily practices, walking outside, writing about good things, and talking with others, were making a real difference in how she felt. Maria's story shows us that happiness doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes the smallest changes in our daily routine can help us feel better and more positive about life. Now, let me tell you about Tom, a scientist who studies why we feel happy. Tom works in a laboratory where he researches how our brains create feelings of happiness. He wants to help people understand that happiness isn't magic. It's actually science. Tom explains that when we feel happy, our brains release special chemicals. 2 of the most important ones are called dopamine and serotonin. These chemicals are like tiny messengers that make us feel good. When Tom tells people this, he likes to say, "Your brain has its own happiness factory." In his research, Tom discovered that dopamine is released when we achieve something, like finishing a task or reaching a goal. He found this happens even with small achievements, like making your bed in the morning or learning a new English word. This is why we feel good when we complete something. Serotonin, the other chemical Tom studies, is different. It helps us feel calm and content. Tom learned that simple activities like taking a walk in the sunshine, eating healthy food, or spending time with friends can increase serotonin in our brains. Tom often tells people that understanding these chemicals doesn't make happiness less special. Instead, it helps us know how to create more happy moments in our lives. He says it's like having a recipe for happiness. When we know the ingredients, we can make more of it. In his own life, Tom uses this knowledge to feel happier. He starts each day with exercise because he knows it releases both dopamine and serotonin. He also makes sure to celebrate small wins and spend time with people he likes, because these activities help his brain produce more happiness chemicals. Let me introduce you to Sarah, who used what scientists like Tom discovered to change her life. Sarah wasn't very happy at first. She often felt tired and stressed, but then she learned about the science of happiness and decided to try some new habits. Sarah started small. Every morning she wrote down 3 things she was grateful for. Some days she wrote about big things like her family, and other days she wrote about simple things like a good cup of coffee or a sunny day. This simple habit helped her notice more good things in her life. She also learned that exercise was important for happiness, but she didn't like going to the gym. So, Sarah found her own way to move more. She started dancing in her living room for 10 minutes every day. It made her laugh, and soon she noticed she felt better after dancing. Another thing Sarah did was create what she called her happiness schedule. Every day she made sure to do at least one thing that made her feel good. Sometimes she called an old friend for a chat. Other times she spent 15 minutes reading a book she enjoyed or took a short walk in the park. The most interesting change Sarah made was starting a kindness practice. 3 times a week, she did something nice for someone else. It could be as simple as helping a neighbor carry their groceries or sending a nice message to a friend. Scientists found that being kind to others makes us happier too. After 6 months of these new habits, Sarah noticed big changes. She smiled more, slept better, and felt more energetic. She learned that happiness isn't just something that happens to us. It's something we can create with small daily actions. As Sarah likes to say, happiness is like a plant. You need to water it every day to help it grow.
Now, let's go over some important words from Diana's story that can help you talk about happiness and well-being in English.
Our first word is grateful. To be grateful means to feel thankful for something. Like Sarah in the story, when you write down what you're grateful for, you're listing things you appreciate in your life.
The next word is habit. A habit is something you do regularly, often without thinking about it. For example, reading before bed became Sarah's daily habit.
Our third word is energetic. When you're energetic, you have lots of energy and feel active. Sarah felt more energetic after starting her new happiness habits.
Number 4 is schedule. A schedule is a plan for when you will do different activities. Like in the story, Sarah made a happiness schedule to make sure she did enjoyable activities every day.
And our final word is kindness. Kindness means being friendly, generous, and considerate to others. Remember how Sarah practiced kindness by helping her neighbors?
These words are really useful for talking about happiness and well-being in English.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode about the science of happiness. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe to English Class Collective.
And we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment telling us what makes you happy. It's great practice for your English, and we always reply to your comments.
See you in our next episode.